What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Draft-a-Palooza, where we're drafting teams, best ball teams, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon, all different formats. DraftKings, Underdog, even maybe there's some others floating around out there. We got a special one today. We're taking a look specifically at the Underdog weekly winners format, and I've got the expert, the man who has researched this extensively with me, Fantasy Fling, the Flingster, here to break it all. Fling, you are a Denver guy. You're a Broncos fan.
Yeah. Can you
Are
tell?
we just doing a Bo Nix super stack here to win all the monies?
Maybe, man. Maybe. He's been going a little quicker in drafts than I was hoping. Last year we got him at such a discount. So I don't know. Maybe we will.
Gonna have to pay a little bit. Now, let's talk about this format that we are focusing on today, the weekly winners format. I went over this a little bit, like in my own basic way the other day as we were going through all of these different formats, and just with no research, right? My take was weekly winners, extra correlation. Don't care as much about a well-rounded team. Be careful not to or attempt maybe to even stack your bye weeks all in one shot. So you just give up a couple weeks. Who cares?
Yeah.
To win this contest, you have to have the highest score out of, let's say, 186,000 entries on a particular week. It is tough.
Mm-hmm.
Or are we going up against our pot of 12 for weekly winner? Actually, wait a second. Are we going up against the whole thing or against our pot of 12? I believe it's the whole
thing. It's like trying to win the Millie Maker almost.
Yeah. So every single week, it's basically like I pay $10 and I have a GPP entry in a 180,000 person contest every single week of the season. Is that about right?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay. All right. So, Fling, before we enter one of these, and maybe we'll get two of them off in this hour and a half, however we're going to go, I want to talk about your article and some of the conclusions here. So this is the article, Fling, that you wrote on dfsarvin.com. It is called How to Be a Weekly Winner on Underdog Fantasy. I'm going to share the link in the comments right now for anybody who wants to check it out. Right? So, and let's get the comments on the screen. I love that feature. So, Fling, let's get into it. Take me through what you discovered about the weekly winners contest. Even we'll do a brief and then we'll dive in deeper as we're drafting. We'll talk about it because people want to see the draft on screen. But weekly winners contest, take me through it.
I had Chat GPT make me the Venn diagram of best ball and DFS because I just felt like it was a perfect marriage between the two. You're drafting a season-long team that's competing for the weekly top prize. So it's DFS and best ball. And, then obviously it's different in best ball in the fact that in best ball, you're just, you want to have the best team at the end, where this is, you can have the best team week 2 and you can win the 20K, right? So you really are just wanting one outlier performance like you do in DFS that can make your whole season.
We're not looking to build a well-rounded team here. We're looking to build a team that's hyper correlated.
Yeah.
That a spike week happens and we are able to take full advantage of it. Does that sound about right?
Exactly. So, you basically build like you're trying to attack a DFS slate, except you only get one shot at your lineup, of course. If you're only doing, one lineup, you're playing the same lineup for 17 weeks.
All right, so let's talk about some of the roster construction things that you noticed. So you studied the winners for the last 2 seasons of the weekly winners contest, right? People who won.
Yes.
So my assumption going in was really that heavy stacking, QB plus 2, QB plus at minimum, QB plus 2 type stacks, maybe even reaching significantly to get that correlation. Is there any additional correlation? Are you seeing people who not maybe purposefully looked at all right, I'm in a division, I'll at least get 2 games here. Maybe I'll just build a divisional stack. the Broncos with some Chiefs pieces, or was that happening on purpose? Maybe that happens by accident.
Yeah, no, I think there's some truth to that. I think sometimes, like, I know specifically when I'm in a draft, if I got Jamar Chase and I know, they're playing the Ravens twice, like that's a good chance that maybe one of those games goes off, right? So if I can get Zay Flowers or Mark Andrews, I'm trying to do that. But yeah, secondary stacks were really big in this. I think across 2 seasons, it was like 73%. There was a secondary stack in the winning lineup, but last year it was 94%. So like if you didn't have a secondary stack last year, like you weren't even in the game.
Even though that happens, I don't know how you target it. I feel like it happens by accident.
Yeah, it does. It does for sure. The ping pong stacks, definitely. I do think though, like you can build, just betting on certain teams, right? Like a lot of the secondary stacks were like Chase Brown and T Higgins, right? Or
okay. So just not so much secondary, meaning 2 different teams, but 2 players on the same team, not necessarily connected to the QB.
Yeah, like a team stack.
That could work. Yeah, those will happen just a lot. Like I said, that'll happen by accident a lot. So it's really tough to to target that on purpose when we're drafting. And the draft is coming at you fast and furious. I've done a lot of these. You're just trying to pick a name.
It is true, but also like if I get RJ Harvey, for example, if we're talking about the Broncos, I might queue up like Marvin Mims and like Pat Bryant to kind of get maybe some of those outlier weeks where the Broncos go off. If I can get
a lot about
matches up,
I've been hearing a lot about Pat Bryant. Are you feeling good about Pat Bryant? Like the Broncos nation? You guys liking him?
Yeah. So Bobby sniped me on Pat Bryant in our Army Dynasty draft, and I was like, dang it! Of course it was Bobby, because Sean Payton compared him to Michael Thomas, and as soon as Sean Payton said that, I was like, okay, this is a guy we need to pay attention to. He took him earlier than people thought, and he compared him to Michael Thomas. So I think we want to take some shots there.
We'll keep an eye on him. I need to pay some attention to him in 3rd round of my dynasty drafts going forward because I don't have any exposure yet. Let's talk about average by position. So in your article, you break down really, it wasn't, I'll be honest, it wasn't super different from how I build every other best ball team. So you looked at the position groups and, I'm looking at it. I am not seeing like a supreme difference here. It kind of builds the same. So one of the conclusions you write here in here was, if you kind of get Josh Allen, then 2 quarterbacks, cool beans. If you get, Brock Bowers, then 2 or 3 tight ends is fine. But if it's not that, then try to get maybe 3 QBs, 3 to 4 tight ends. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, definitely. To your point, like it was very similar, and that's one thing I noticed too. But one difference that I did notice is like if you look back at past years, not 2024, but like past years on Underdog Fantasy of like Best Ball Mania, 0 RB wins at a high rate. It does not in these contests. It was very low. Like you almost have to have like one running back that can have those elite upside finishes so that, you have that ceiling to finish as the top team in any given week.
I'm not a big fan of 0 RB.
No, I love it in full PPR, but not in half PPR.
Yeah, I think you have to, especially in this format, this underdog format, you got to build around. I like that people think that that they want to wait on running backs. I think good, go wait. That doesn't work in half PPR. You need touchdown scores. Flex spot. This was an interesting little statistic. Again, not necessarily something that would affect how I'm drafting, but it's an interesting statistic that 41% of the time wide receiver was the flex this past season.
Yeah. Tight end, just even teams that had 3-4 tight ends, it just never made it to the flex. But we know that playing DFS, right? Like tight end is just such a crapshoot. But it was mainly wide receiver and running back. I was a little surprised, honestly, because you would think in 2024, since it was such a big running back year, the Derrick Henrys and the Bucky Irvings and the Saquon Barkleys, of course, at the top, they smashed so many times. You would think it would have been more dominant that running back was in the flex, but it was closer than I thought.
Yeah. Ray Zanny, puppy winner from last season, 200K.
There we go.
Has no problem ripping off 4 running backs in a row here on Underdog. So yeah, no regrets. No regrets. You know what's interesting about this statistic, Fling? You're a big FanDuel guy, and you know, we usually preach, even in GPP, slap a running back in the flex on FanDuel. They score more touchdowns. It's a safer play, but you know, it's really interesting that if you as much as that does tend to work, and it's more of a conservative approach, I guess here you get more wide receivers and one just pops off for one of their 25-point games, or maybe that's like where a Marvin Mims week 17 situation turns out, or a Martez Valdez Scantling style guy where, you know, they end up just having that crazy game. They get 25 points and they wind up in your flex.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think like the fact that you're just drafting more wide receivers makes it, you know, more probable that they're going to end up in the flex at a decent rate. Not as much as running back in half PPR, but a good amount.
Yeah. So draft strategy, we'll just go over a little bit here. And guys, you could, I dropped the link to this article in the description. You, of course, go to DFS Army, click articles, find it right at the top as well for NFL. So wherever you want, you can go check out this article as well and get into the detail. But draft strategy. So take me through it. Avoid 0 RB starts. We already talked about that.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. You really want to get at least one running back in your first 5 picks. You know, it's like 94% hit. Like you have to, that anchor RB for sure. Anchor RB is typically described as, you know, you're taking like your Saquon Barkley and then you're loading up on wide receivers. So, you know, that was a winning strategy. But really, you know, a lot of the teams, about more than half of the teams, took at least 2 running backs in their first 5 picks. So it's half PPR. I think it's very important to make sure you get a couple guys that have a good floor and ceiling. And then it was a lot of the same with wide receivers. So, you know, the conclusion that I kind of came to is you want guys that have good floor and ceiling. So, you know, you want to take at least one running back and wide receiver in your first 5 picks. But ideally, you know, most of the teams took, or about half the teams took 2 of each. So
2 of each.
Yeah,
then,
if you win the first 5 rounds and you got 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and you got your quarterback or your elite tight end, you're doing pretty good.
I think interestingly, 58% of teams took a tight end in the first 5 rounds. Yeah. That was surprising for me.
Yeah.
So effectively, it seems to me the way these teams are put together and the way that the winners came together to me was waiting on QB in favor of a somewhat balanced RB, WR, TE, just getting and even getting a stud tight end in there that gives you there's no bigger positional advantage in best ball and a DFS contest than anything. And then, you know, the difference between like Brock Bowers and, you know, David Njoku, right?
Right.
Or TE 1 versus TE 7, 8, 9, right? So a monster difference there. And maybe that's that edge that you need to sort of separate from the field. And maybe that was part of it, because that's a lot of tight ends. That's a lot of teams with early tight end picks. Normally only 2 or 3 guys go in those first 5 rounds.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It was almost always like McBride or Bowers in those instances.
Slide a little George Kittle in there once in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Big score guy.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think that we're kind of getting our format together. We're going to try to draft a perfect world. We're going to come out of the first 5 rounds with a tight end, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, super balanced. Of course, got to let the draft come to us a little bit, but that sounds like what we're going to be looking to do. And then here later on, so we talk about stacking and correlation. And we already talked a little bit about this, but correlation is king. 100% correlated, 82% primary. So 82% of the lineups had a QB directly stacked with a pass catcher.
Yeah.
And then the other ones, it looks like, were, quote, naked QB builds, meaning, you know, Josh Allen or Lamar sneak their way in there. Maybe a Jaden Daniels type.
Yeah.
Although I found that Jaden was not as naked of a QB as advertised last season. He was really somebody you did want to stack whereas Lamar and Josh Allen were pretty much no need for stacking at all.
Right, for sure. Well, and then the other thing too is like when you look at drafts versus, like a DFS contest is like you may have the double stack and you're ready to take Joe Burrow and then some guy takes him, unstacked, right? So then you kind of have to pivot and you're like, well, who can I draft now? You're better off taking a running back in that situation, a running quarterback in that situation.
Welcome to my pain from the Monday show, where I get Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Chase Brown, and I'm just waiting for JB coming around, and somebody just snakes it. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Why? Why did you do that?
It's so annoying. The first one of these I did last night, the first fast draft anyway, I was able to get Burrow, Higgins, and Chase all together.
I like that. That's got to be a great combo and very achievable. It seems like if you get Jamar, especially if you get that first pick or the second pick, so you can get Chase, it just like falls into you. T is there at the second round, or Chase Brown is there in round 3. And then there's the question is if Burrow gets back to you in round 4. But if we set up that way, we're definitely going to try to do it. Although somebody in the chat will probably snake it from us just to destroy the beauty of the final screenshot of the lineup. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. You ready to go? Fling, you ready? It's 20 seconds per pick. This is going to happen fast.
Yeah, let's do it. I had to wait a little bit earlier, so hopefully there'll be some more people.
Yeah, let me get in there. Let's see if it works. Never know. I had some technical difficulties. What is this? Yesterday. I want weekly winners. Okay. Enter. Confirm. Fetching okay, we're in.
One person, perfect. Let's go.
Wow, that was quick. Okay. And we're off. Did not take very long at all there. Where are we? Where are we? Okay, we're picking 10th.
Okay. That makes it easier when you're on the ends. You can line up.
Yeah, we can start to plan it out, think about it. Pick 10. McCaffrey is there, maybe. Derrick Henry, Janty might be there. Puka, Malik Neighbors, I like a lot if we're going wide receiver. So let's see how this falls. So we got anybody in the chat in this content? That was so fast. I don't think anybody in the chat is in there. Oh, Ivan Drago, man. He is quick. Ivan Drago's in there with us.
Man, he hasn't missed any, has he?
What's that?
He hasn't missed a single one, has he?
No, Drago is hardcore, man. I love it. I love the dedication. Soups missed it. Soups missed it. I mean, it went quick. I think Drago got that last spot. I didn't know that when I hit go, it was going to be right there. But this is a fast-moving draft. We'll probably have time to do 2 of these. So, Fling, set up, get some snacks.
Definitely. Tell my wife not to come downstairs. We're streaming.
Tell the wife streaming's happening right now. I think we lucked out a little bit on this starting so quickly. It's not, it's a live show. It's a live broadcast. You don't know what happens.
I tried to start one like quite early. Like I'm on Mountain Time, so it was like 6 a.m. I was like, it's 8 a.m. Eastern. We'll see. I waited for like a good 10 minutes, and I just left. I was like, all right.
Yeah, exit the room right at that point. Is there a way, if you've done a lot of these Underdog drafts, Underdog just opened up for me, but is there a way to make a noise when you're on the clock?
There is, but I don't. Honestly, I was having that issue earlier. But typically it does. I think you got to go. I bet it's
maybe under account over here. I don't want to miss my turn, but maybe after we do our 2 picks, I'm gonna check this account tab. And if anybody's watching, Ray Zanny, how do I make a ping sound when I'm on the clock? Like, give me a noise, give me a signal, give me something. All right, Fling. Draft is moving along here. McCaffrey goes a little ahead of. I like that pick, by the way. I like it in this format too. He goes ahead again. We don't care. Like if he gets hurt, we're not winning. Who cares? All right, great. But if he holds on, great. All right, we're on the clock. We got Derrick Henry, Puka, Amon-Ra. What do you think, Henry here?
I would take Henry there.
Yeah,
but
big points guy. Derrick Henry's going to have weeks where he puts up 30 plus.
Yeah.
or he should. And that's what we need. We don't care about the mid weeks when he's not doing that. So having Derrick Henry for me pretty much negates any interest in Lamar Jackson. I don't think those two go together all that well.
Yeah, I don't think there was a winning lineup that had Henry and Lamar in it last year.
All right, we're up again here on the clock, so we're going to avoid. We got Puka, Achane, AJ Brown. I don't like running back position. Achane.
You could double up if you want. Otherwise, I'd take Puka.
Yeah, let's go big upside with Achane. Puka, not as much of a touchdown scorer as I like to see in this format, in the half PPR. You know, Puka only had 4 touchdowns last year.
To Soup's question, there was one of the winners was they just drafted Josh Allen. Let me look at what week that was.
Oh, wait. Settings, notification preferences. Notifications are currently turned on. I do want them on. I can't figure it out. All right, let's see if I can find my way back to that draft. Uh-oh.
Should be.
Oh, yeah, wait, NFL. Hold on.
Yeah, there you go.
Ugh.
Go back to just drafts.
And active. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. And then I have to click on something to make this go to draft. There we go. All right. Sorry. Little trouble navigating.
And if you want to see the board, click the grid right next to Chief ST here.
Yeah, no, I know about the board. My issue is when it doesn't ping me, I worry that I'll. Okay, all right, here we go.
Yeah,
we got a while to go. So let's do a little analysis of what's going on here in this draft. So everything seems pretty chalk. I think that's like a high. AJ Brown goes much higher here than I have him ranked anyway. Drake London, Lamar, Jonathan Taylor, couple of big run on QBs, 3 QBs in round 2. Again, that flies in the face of your research.
Yeah, I mean, I think about half of the teams drafted a QB in the first 5 picks. You don't have to do it in the second round. Okay. One of the things that I did come away with was last year, I think it made more sense to wait on some of the QBs because you were able to get Jaden Daniels, you were able to get Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, and those guys all had spike weeks. This year, I think it will be harder to do that because it's kind of a weak rookie quarterback class, unless you can get like Cam Ward. If he's a guy that you could target, I would definitely target him because he's going, I think, probably way too late.
Yeah, he's somebody you can get super late. No, there's not a lot of hope for Cam Ward to have a big season. Jaden Daniels, I did have a lot of hope. Like Jaden Daniels was one of my top guys last year. He was the guy I said you can wait this year on quarterback. Like if you watch my videos last season, Jaden Daniels was like my QB of the season.
Yeah.
I said you could wait till pick 12, get this guy, and he's got the massive upside. Of course, I also liked Anthony Richardson, and that didn't work out very well. All right, we're almost up here. Yeah. So we've got 2 running backs already. There's still some good running back action on the board. Wide receiver group, a little sketchy. Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin, JSN I like a little bit.
Yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jigba would be interesting paired up with Samwise.
Darnold, right? Yeah. Or if you can if Tyreek Hill falls to you and the Dolphins have a resurgence, that would be great.
You know what? Did we take Achane? We did, right?
Yeah. That's some good
so
secondary.
Achane. So you know what? I went with the Hill thing. Yeah. I don't love Tyreek Hill this year, by the way, at all. I'm not a big fan, but I like the combo with Achane here. I think that if Tyreek Hill's having a big game, it's going to have to be because Tua is smashing and Tua doing well helps Achane as well. So interesting little correlated. Well, we might grab Tua late now that we have that combo. All right. I've got an idea here for a wide receiver. I'm going with Devontae. I know who I like. Devontae Adams. Could he be Cooper Kupp 2.0 this season? Like vintage Cooper Kupp?
Yeah. Definitely. I agree. I think it's a great pick, and you can stack him with Stafford late, if you have to. Like, obviously you would like Puka, but you get some of those spike weeks. It's like you talk about often, is the wide receiver 2 often correlates with the QB having a big week more than the wide receiver 1.
He absolutely does correlate more. The quarterback and wide receiver 1 having the wide receiver 1 having a good game is almost like the base.
Yeah.
The QB doesn't spike unless somebody else does it too.
Mhm.
That's been the research. That's been proven over and over and over and over again many years. Like it's like the acai in the bowl. It's filling it up. The WR2, that's the granola, some of those berries. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Fling, you an acai bowl guy?
Not so much. My wife is, though. So, I dabble a little bit.
Yeah, my kids eat that. I don't eat that shit. I was just saying.
Yeah.
I don't eat it.
Yeah. She's
My
like, you
kids
want to
are
buy it?
always,
I'm like, sure, why not?
yeah, my kids are always like, oh, we're getting an acai bowl. Ray says Bryce and Sam Darnold late.
Yeah. I like Bryce this year. I'm just always looking for like a guy that's undervalued, a couple late targets. Bryce is definitely one of those guys. I think if McMillan ends up being, the guy that he's being regarded as being, I think it'd be a huge boost for Bryce.
You want to get Tet in that lineup if you're going to get Bryce Young in there.
Yeah.
Jamal Williams, upside guy. At this point, I'm kind of looking at the positions, tight end, Kelsey hanging around, not in love with what's going on here at the tight end group. Still fine, but no one I'm dying to draft right now. Running back, you've got Kamara, Kenny Walker, Chuba, Connor, some studs down the road, but we are starting to thin out at quality running back as well. So got to pay attention here.
Yeah. I like that rookie crop. That's, the Caleb, the rookie crop of running backs, like if you can get, RJ Harvey or Travion Henderson or, Caleb, one of those guys. I like targeting one of those guys.
Love Harvey. I think he's already off the board.
Yeah, I think so.
Isn't it funny that RJ Harvey went that early? I love RJ Harvey. I'm a big fan. Let's see where he went. But I'm a big fan. But this season especially, I'm a big fan of him in the very, very short term. Where'd he go?
No, he's right there. He went right next to. He went third. The third draft.
Well, we need a running back. We're on the clock here. Connor, Henderson. You know what? Let's go with Trevion. YOLO. Had to make a quick call there.
Yeah.
QBs. Mahomes is still here. Baker Mayfield. Let's think about any sort of correlation. I've got no correlation with any of those guys. Running backs, Connor, all these guys. Wide receivers, we're still light on wide receiver as well. All right, so we might be grabbing one of these rookies next.
Yeah, if you get Tet, you can get Bryce, obviously. Travis Hunter, I don't think you can get Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence is probably going to, unfortunately, it's going to be sexier to have Lawrence with Brian Thomas Jr., I think.
Yeah.
We'll do an analysis of all these drafts, but this thing's moving fast. 20-second timer, Fling?
Yeah.
It's intensely fast. It's hard to even, especially talking about whatever this or that makes it extra difficult. There goes Tet. So, they're always going to take our guy right before we get there. Devontae Smith, no. I don't like any of this.
You can grab. Yeah, I was going to say.
I think we got to do Hunter here.
Yeah,
I almost think we got to take Hunter and just take that rookie and hope for a monster rookie season.
Yeah,
for Hunter. We are. Let's go back to the big board here. We have a momentary reprieve.
There you go.
So here's where we're at, Fling. 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers drafted. Well-rounded.
Mm-hmm.
The running backs look pretty good. Derrick Henry. Where am I? There we go. Derrick Henry, Devon Achane, very tied into Tua.
Yep.
We doubled down on the Tua thing with Tyreek Hill here. We might want to get Jonnu Smith in there just to wrap it all together.
And it
we got the
almost,
rookie.
I was going to
Go
say, it
ahead.
almost feels like you have to take Tua at this point, because if Achan and Tyreek Hill are the guys you need, Tua's probably having a good year. Plus, you get him
Absolutely.
late.
We need that spike week from Tua. Not that he has a lot of spike weeks, but we can get him super late. So we'll probably
Right.
have to reach for a round early for Tua just to make sure we get him. And I think that might be the strategy on this. Like when you're ready to take that correlative player, you might have to just reach around early and just say, that's what I'm going to do. And you don't like it, too fucking bad.
For
Tattoo
sure.
just busting out with player names I've never heard of. Like, yeah, take Ollie Gordon. The hell
Yeah,
is Ollie Gordon?
He's been reading those dynasty buys.
Yeah. Who even is Ollie Gordon? Is that like a late round running back for backup for
Yeah, he's a Miami guy. Some of the dynasty bros love Ollie Gordon.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a running back?
Yeah, he's a running back.
So he's like basically instead of Jalen Wright, people are saying Wright is forgotten. It's going to be Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon, is that what it is?
That's what they're saying. I don't know.
Continuing to watch the board here. Still some high upside. We still are a little light at wide receiver. I'm trying to see if there are like upside wide receivers in the next few picks. Not so much. Running backs, we can use another one as well.
Yeah.
And tight end definitely is needed here. Do we go Mr. Swift, Mr. Taylor Swift? Is this too soon?
You could, or Hawkinson.
Or just jump to Janu? You know what? Let's wait.
The correlation's there.
Let's
maybe wait
Let's
for Janu. Take something else and then grab Janu.
Take a running back here. Let's just fill it out here. Swift.
Yeah.
I don't love Swift, but he definitely had some spike weeks last year. The Bears' offensive line is completely new. Every single player is different from last year. Massive upgrade on the Bears' O-line.
I mean, if they don't add any running backs, like Swift is going to be such a screaming value. We're going to be like, why did we let him fall this far?
I think that will be what ends up happening.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to have been this monster value. Can we wait? What pick are we up to? 85? 93.
He might fall.
Janu?
Worst case scenario, you get like Evan Ingram, who I think could have a big year.
There's not too much else going on here that I'm excited about. Oh, no, forget it. I can't take it. I'm taking him. Get it.
There you go.
I couldn't take it anymore.
Better than autoing.
Yeah. 20 seconds on the clock, especially when the person before you just nails who you're about to take. So nerve-wracking. All right, so we got Janu Smith in there. We have effectively built a monster Miami stack with all but Puka.
Yeah.
Probably should have had Puka on here too. If I knew it was going this way, I should have taken Puka there. We've got our first tight end, but I'm not in love with Janu as a consistent tight end. And the negative to Janu Smith to me was his best games seemed to happen because Tyreek Hill was just washed.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I do think it sets up as a really easy 3 tight end year, though, because there's so many guys that are like going late. Like, I mean, just that whole range of those guys in the 80s, like, there's just a lot of options this year.
Yeah. Yeah. If you move down the list, like it still looks good with Zach Ertz. You're pretty happy with Gesicki. Hunter Henry's fine. Even Brenton Strange, Mason Taylor, they're all there late. Jatavian Sanders is a starter. Everybody forgot about him.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see where we're at. We're a little light at wide receiver here. A little light at tight end. We're pretty solid at the running back position. So we'll need to add some wide receiver talent as we move. Ooh, Mims. Keon Coleman. Rashid Shaheed, big upside guy, but no quarterback.
He has a spike weeks. Trey Harris is a good guy that I think could get a lot of is like an outside wide receiver for the Chargers. He can get a lot of volume this year.
Could get it done as well. I like Trey.
Yeah.
He could also be nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's how it goes with second and third round wide receivers. You know, the upside is great, but the downside is nothing. Let's look at the quarterback group and see who's left here. I don't have any quarterbacks. Got Caleb Williams, doesn't really correlate with anything we've done, and I can't buy any correlation outside of Swift. Is that enough? I like Caleb this year. We got Brock Purdy, also not correlated with anything. Goff, again, no correlation anywhere there. Drake May. So not a whole lot of correlation here before we get to maybe like a Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. If you take Drake May, you could get Kyle Williams later. Also like stacking with like Hunter Henry. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence would probably be your guy.
I almost think that it's acceptable. It would be acceptable to take Caleb here because of Swift. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. I did that for
Burden,
Swift.
Burden is still available. He might make it back to you.
I'm assuming, Loveland is there too. So we could do the tight end thing as well. Then again, there's some wide receivers here that I really like. And one of my favorite upside wide receivers is still hanging around. I think I got to do it. And you're going to like the pick if it gets to us.
I know who you're going to pick.
Yeah, we got to take Mims here, no?
Yeah.
This is a guy who's going to win you a week. I guarantee you, Marvin Mims will win Best Ball people a week this year. Let's just do it.
Why not?
Yeah, he's one of my guys. Like, that's a name that's on my list. So we now have 4 wide receivers, 4 strong running backs, good to go. Need to add some tight end talent still. We got Jonnu Smith. We're gonna try to correlate that whole Miami offense thing with Tua. We got a while until Tua is one of the last off the board. So that's why I said I don't want to just fully rely on Tua. There's a reason he goes last. Like this dude, even when he's good, still only puts up a 20. Like the monster games have been rare for him.
The good news is you have Devontae Adams, so you have both Stafford and Tua as an option if you get sniped on Tua.
Who else goes with Stafford?
They got that tight end Ferguson.
Yeah, untrustable. Untrustable.
Right. Yeah, that'd be like one of the last round picks.
Yeah, nothing we can do to increase the correlation there. And I'm not in love with, Caleb unstacked. They took him. I was going to take Loveland. Who do we have left? Burden? Luke? Oof. Let's go with Luke Burden.
Let's hope he makes it. How many picks? 6 picks away?
I think we can get him. Unless Ivan Drago does us dirty.
Don't do it.
Uh-oh. Richardson is not a bad QB pick in this format at all. Don't do it, no. Ivan Drago. Don't do it.
One more. Okay. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, we got it. Okay. So we've got a little mini stack. Okay, this will be better, more fun to talk about when you have stacks, right? Because there was I thought you're supposed to stack this shit. All right, so let's continue to monitor the position groups. Lawrence, Tua, Stafford, all 3 of them possible stackable players. Bryce Young going, wow, he's really far down that list too. Interesting. Running back group. Not seeing a whole lot here that gets me excited. You know who's a guy I like a little bit this year, Fling? I like the injury happens and Trey Benson elevates to league winner status.
You're on the clock again.
Oh, shit. How does it happen so fast? Hold on. Christian Kirk, Hollywood Brown, tight ends.
You could take Kyle Williams. He would correlate with Travion Henderson.
Too sketchy. I'm just going to take Hollywood. I have a feeling he's got some upside. I don't think we're getting Drake May. So Kyle Williams, I don't even know if he's going to play this year. I think that's not a good pick there. Like, I've thought about Kyle Williams, and they got that guy Polk last year. He didn't play at all, and he was a second rounder. Like, you can't trust a third round wide receiver.
Yeah.
So how are we at? All right, we're light at tight end. That's where we need to. All right, this team needs to. We've got 4 running backs, 6 wide receivers, 1 QB, 1 tight end. I think QB and tight end is what we need to focus on here.
Definitely. We got a QB. To your point, though, on Trey Benson, I drafted him this morning because of that same reason. Connor had an uncharacteristically healthy year last year. I don't think that's going to happen again.
How often is that guy going to have a full healthy season? You can't rely on that. Garendo's another one. Exactly. McCaffrey goes down, Garendo comes in. He looked great last year. I'm just looking for where we can find live bodies. Ferguson goes. I was liking him too. Freiermuth can have a big week every once in a while. Gesicki, Hunter Henry's fine.
Yeah.
QBs, it's coming up on us. So we have to now actually get our QBs in place. What do you think, Stafford and then Tua? Just double tap it?
Yeah. You're going to take 2 back-to-back?
I think so. I mean, that's where we have some correlation. I just don't know what else to do here. So I think Tua is a more important piece. I almost want to reach for Tua before Stafford. I'm going to reach for Tua first, just in case it doesn't come back to us. Because it's more important, I think, that for this team to have Tua.
Sure.
Ivan Drago's like, burn. Don't do it, Ivan. Don't do it. He did. No. Oh, my God. For a second, I was like, no way.
Yeah, here's the deal. Take Tua, and then if you miss out on Stafford, you could take Cam Ward. You could do a backdoor stack with Chig and Conqueror. You just run him naked.
Yeah. Now, we like Stafford would be for the correlation with Devontae.
Yeah.
And then once we get him in there, and Stafford's not normally going to win you a week, but Stafford had I think 3 games of over 20 or it was a couple, maybe it's over 25 last year, 25 fantasy points. For
sure.
Compared to, Jalen Hurts is doing that every week.
Exactly. But that may be the week. If it's a Devontae Adams week, especially.
It's all that matters.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns for Devontae. Yeah, it's not the best. I think Tua is not a great pick for this format either, except for when that 1 week where he wins you the whole thing. And then who cared about the rest? It's a GPP. Right. All right.
Well, it's all about ADP too. You're getting him at 157. You're not getting him early.
Yeah. All of our quarterbacks, we were able to fill out this entire team with studs all over the place before we even started messing around with quarterbacks. So I think from here, we've got 4 running backs. We've got 7 wide receivers. We're definitely a little soft at tight end. So that's what we're going to be doing for the next couple rounds. Strengthening up the tight end position and maybe continuing to seek out if there's any upside. Oh, there's Pat Bryant. What's up?
Exactly.
You know what? If we get Pat Bryant and Mims Jr., I kind of like that. Even without
correlation.
Secondary correlation. Yeah.
Yeah.
That 1 week where Pat Bryant and Mims Jr. go crazy.
Definitely. And here's the thing. I think they play different roles. I think Pat Bryant is more likely to eat into Davon Bailey as opposed to Mims. Or if Cortland Sutton gets hurt, Mims' role is going to be entirely different than Pat Bryant's.
I haven't drafted Cortland Sutton even once.
No, he's going too high for me. With the addition of Pat Bryant, it's just too much, I think. He's another year.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. I think I have a bias from previous years. He was better last year than he had been for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Might be some carried over, what do they call that? Cognitive bias against him. And I haven't taken him once.
For sure.
Players going. Tight ends disappearing. It's like they watched the show and they knew to get 3 or 4 tight ends on your team. And we're left a little lacking here.
It's getting dry.
What's that?
It's getting dry.
Yeah. I don't trust Taysom Hill as much as I love Tay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust him. Actually, I do trust Taysom. I love Taysom Hill. But I don't know how much he's going to play this year, but I do love Taysom Hill.
Mason Taylor, draft evaluators loved him.
Jets. Let's do it, man. Jets. Let's go.
And it's like you and Bobby talked about, Fields, he targeted Komet a lot. So
yeah, no, people are too down on Fields, like the throwing prowess. I saw such an incorrect analysis. I watch these guys that don't know shit and they just talk so much smack. So somebody was talking about Fields and they were like, oh, the Jets are going to be a run heavy offense and blah, blah, blah. Dude, have you met the Jets? Like, they're not going to throw it this year. And with Fields and running, have you met the Jets? They're behind every week.
Yeah.
They're not going to be run heavy. They're going to be run heavy like the way that, almost like in a cheap version of the way the Chargers were last year, where they would just be behind and then they would just like have to throw it a shit ton. Yeah. Taysom Hill is going to win us a week on this thing. Let's go.
There you go.
Like, what are you talking about? It's the Jets. They're not the Steelers. This isn't the Ravens. They're not playing from ahead. They're behind. Exactly. Yeah. They're playing the Bills. What are you talking about? Yeah. They're playing the fucking Dolphins, who have a good offense.
And when Fields' first read isn't there, he's going to take off and run,
Yeah,
and he's
Fields is going to run. He's throwing it. Fields is only able to look at two guys. He does not have the traditional quarterback ability to, time the look left, look here, 4 seconds in, look. No. Fields is one guy. Like, watch Garrett Wilson. If he's not open, look for the tight end. If he's not, run. He's not like looking at the WR2. He's not following progression. He's not watching where the safety, are we up? He's not watching where the safety went. He doesn't even know about that. Safety. Who's the safety? He doesn't even know who the safety is. He has no idea. He's like, they told me two things. Watch Garrett Wilson. If he's not open, run.
Yeah.
Got to keep it simple.
It works for him. All right. How many? We got 2 picks left, right?
We have 2 picks left. We got 3 tight ends, 3 quarterbacks. We got a pile of, you know what? Let's take a look at what's available here. All right. Running back is dead. Is there any late running back that you find that, like, oh yeah, I like that guy? Like, I don't know, Will Shipley backing up. I don't mind that. Will Shipley backing up Saquon.
Will Shipley's a guy. Jerquez Hunter's a decent guy. He's more of like the change of pace, like receiving back that the Rams want. I mean, only because it would correlate with what you got. But
I only want a running back that would take over as the lock button starter when the main guy goes down, and that is not Jerquez. Unfortunately, he's more of a flex play that you don't mind having in your lineup, regardless. Let's see here. QBs. I'm just curious as who's available this late. No one. We got Shipley here. I think I'm going to go with Shipley. Yeah. Let's do that.
There you go.
We'll go for the home run. If Barkley gets hurt, this guy will win us a week in this tournament.
And you probably, how many wide receivers do you have? You might need one more. No, you got 6. Yeah, you might
6. Yeah, I could use another one. Oh, you know who's good? You know who I like here? We got Westbrook-Akine and Valdez-Scantling. You choose. The other one is Mike Williams, who, like, what if he has a resurrection? But I think that's so unlikely. But what if he does? Imagine Mike Williams goes back to the Chargers and just resurrects and is like the old version of himself.
I also like Coker.
Coker got that backup role. But I think we got to go for
last year.
Touchdown scorers here. All right, pick between Valdez-Scantling and Westbrook-Akine. I'm telling you, that's the way to go. Spike
Westbrook-Akine has better correlation, but are you over correlating the Miami?
Oh, he's on Miami.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Will have more opportunity.
Let's over correlate.
Okay.
Bam. This is the format for that. Isn't that? Yeah. Plus, it's funner to talk about at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
Extreme correlation.
I'll tell you, one guy that I like that you can get in like literally the last round is Taj Brooks for the Bengals. He's going to play the Zach Moss role.
Really?
Some talent evaluators loved him. And he's a 3-down back if Chase Brown gets hurt. He's not going to take away from Chase Brown, but if Chase Brown gets hurt, he could be a league winner. So
I don't hate it.
I know we're not I know we're full in this draft, but just kind of a guy
Keep
that I
that in
think
mind for next time. Yeah, who are some of your other late round? Like this last round, right? Woody Marks is a name I've seen a lot of people mention, backing up, an old Joe Mixon.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Another
Giddens
guy,
back.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Giddens for sure. Another guy will be Audric Estime for the Broncos because he got hurt last year. He didn't play a whole lot. He looked decent, but if there's a guy that's kind of like a bruising back that I think could potentially have some value, could be Estime. One of the things about RJ Harvey, like he's super explosive, and I think Sean Payton is going to scheme him open. But one of the things about him, he was not a very good pass protector, and
Oh,
he did have fumble issues, and he is a little on the small side, I guess, for kind of like goal line backs type back. So I do think Audric Estime, he's a guy you can get in the last round. He would be one of those guys if Harvey gets hurt, or if he just struggles fumbling or pass protection.
interesting. I didn't realize that RJ Harvey had issues in pass protection. That's concerning.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because he's a really good receiver, but he's also not very good in pass protection just because he's kind of undersized. So,
I try to blow that up, but you can't do it in this format. All right, check it out, Fling. Let's do a quick run through of. We'll do a run through of our draft, and then since Ivan Drago's in here with us, we'll take a look at him. So again, we wind up, per your article, you want at least 2 running backs and 2 wide receivers coming out of the first 5 rounds.
Yep.
We end up going all in on running backs and wide receivers here with Trevion Henderson, the rookie, rounding out the group. Derrick Henry, Achane, Tyreek Hill, extreme correlation we'll see later on with our quarterback. We did an extreme correlated running. Basically, if Miami scores 44 points in a game this season, this team has a chance to win it that week. Is that fair to say?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yes, and Bowers did go in round 1, Soup. He went at the end of round 1, which, again, I don't mind it. I don't, but watching him go here and McBride here, and they kind of had similar outputs last year, interesting. I think Bowers is going to level up from what he was last year.
Yeah.
Better quarterback.
I loved it too because it pushed Devin Achane and Puka to us, and I don't think they would have been there if Bowers wasn't taken.
Yeah. And again, had we taken Puka, also cool, right? Yeah. And this would have been really exciting with Puka, Adams, and Stafford. That could have been another, like going back, that would have been a really cool way to build it too. But Achane allowed us to sort of build this insane Miami stack thing that we have going on. Which one's better? I don't know. But so Derrick Henry, smash brother, right? This guy, 30-plus point games when he's doing it, and he'll have games when he's, because he doesn't catch passes. That's fine. That's what we want in this format. Trevion Henderson, running back. What you suggest about Harvey is the opposite. Trevion Henderson, they say, is an elite pass blocker. He should be in the game. Going to be playing. Yeah. He's moved up ahead of Judkins. Now he is officially the 3rd running back coming off the board in rookie dynasty drafts.
Yeah.
He goes right after, some people take him before. Like basically when Ted McMillan is up on the board, you're thinking about him or Trevion Henderson. It's a choice. I have that choice to make in one of my more expensive leagues.
It's a hard choice. I would probably take McMillan, but I think I have a slight bias to wide receivers. But I mean, Henderson's a good choice too.
Elite wide receivers are worth so much in in dynasty, especially. Like if you can catch one as a rookie. I have a team where I got Mike Evans. All right, this is how far back I go in dynasty. I picked Mike Evans as a rookie, pick 1.7 in this particular league. It's one of the first dynasty, certainly my first dynasty league, but I don't even heard of the format back then. It was like super new. And I've won 4 championships with that team over the course of Mike Evans' career and in countless finals. And he was a big part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Big part of that. He's a big part of it. But Mike Evans, man, start to finish of his career, I might retire that team when Mike Evans retires. Like, I think I'm going to leave that league and just say, you know what? I completed the full circle. There's
Yeah.
no more that I can do here. I can't do any more. I ran this player from the start of his career to the finish. We won 4 or 5 championships in 12 years. They hate me in that league.
Love it. You
Yeah, they
should
hate
do is like post Mike Evans' retirement speech in the chat and then just leave the league.
Yes. Oh, that would be glorious. That's a $400 entry dynasty league too. It's been actually, I paid for my cat with that with a win one year.
Dang.
Another year I got the most amazing like weapons, like guns. I was like, I'll buy myself something stupid.
There you go. That's what you got to do, man.
Yeah. All right, so let's continue on. So we wind up continuing with the theme here. Devontae Adams, I think super upside. I love Devontae in this format. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But like Devontae Adams as Devontae Adams himself with Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. I was glad that he chose the Rams. I was like, go to a contender. Do not follow Aaron Rodgers to another team.
No.
Like, go to a contender. Blossom.
Matthew Stafford turned Kenny Galladay, who actually sucked, into what was thought to be an elite wide receiver. That's how good Stafford is.
Yeah. Oh, he's great.
Trevion Henderson. So we get Travis Hunter. I thought about I was thinking about getting Trevor Lawrence, T-Law going with him. I don't think we didn't end up getting that going. So, but I took Hunter. We have some upside there. DeAndre Swift, again, coordinated with our quarterback, Caleb Williams. Fine. Caleb, DeAndre, fine by me. DeAndre catches a pass. Janu Smith, just further pushing that Miami super stack going. We got Burden and Swift with Caleb. Marvin Mims Jr., upside guy. We love him. We almost got the other dude from Denver. And now in future ones, I like the idea of Bo Nix with those two guys, right? With Pat Bryant. Yeah. And then if you could get Cortland Sutton too, you could build a pretty heavy Bronco stack.
Yeah.
Hollywood Brown, upside guy. We got our quarterbacks in there. And then we just piled on some tight ends and some backup type players. Pretty good overall draft. I like it. I think it does the job, which was give me a super correlated over crazy stack on Tua, and let's see if Miami can score 40 points in a game this year.
Yeah. Definitely.
Would you bet $10 to win 20,000 that Miami will have a game this year where they score 44 plus points?
It's definitely possible. If Tua stays healthy and Tyreek Hill was really hampered by his wrist injury, it's very possible.
Yeah, it could happen. It would take that though.
70 points 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Against my Broncos.
Now, by the way, we're not saying it's like probably going to happen. I'm saying like I'm betting $10 to win 20,000 or however much the top prize is in this. That could happen.
Yeah.
I like it. I think that's fair. Ivan Drago. Ivan Drago starts with the rookie, Janty. McConkey and Omarion. So a little mini correlation there. DJ Moore, Chuba Hubbard, 3 running backs, 2 wide receivers in the first 5 picks. Fine by me. I love DJ Moore. Ivan's been in a lot of this. I think DJ Moore is so underrated this season. People have no idea what's coming. And look at you. I've been thoughtful drafting. Juwan and Ayuk double tap. Do you think he gets Brock Purdy? I don't want to spoil it. I don't know. Did he get Purdy? Did he? Did you look? I'm not looking. I don't want to cheat. Evan Ingram, first quarterback off the. Oh yeah, man. Fucking Ivan Drago. These guys are drafting better. Knocks down Herbert and Purdy for all the corals, all the correlation feels. McConkey and Omarion with Herbert. We've got Juwan, Ayuk. Man, where's Pearsall? That just would have completed it. Or a little.
By the way,
action.
He's also got a ping pong stack with both McConkey and Amari Hampton and Alshon Jenti.
Oh, because they play each other a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
divisional points.
Yeah. A little divisional rivalry there. That seems solid. Double tap. We got Evan Ingram, Kylie Pitter, sandwiching these 2 quarterbacks. So just solid tight end. And Penix, now there he is. Penix with Pitts. So got that little correlation going as well. Trey Benson, who we were talking about. Pat Bryant, who we were talking about. So benefiting from being here, I think. Will Dissly, now he's writing letters because he missed me. Will Dissly, don't love it.
Notorious B.I.G.
At least it correlates. Yeah, a little B.I.G. action. I don't know why I ever see his name. I think that. Yeah, and you know, again, just chasing Ray McLeod there for the correlation.
Yep.
This is solid. Ivan, you are thinking. What's cool about this is you're like, I love looking at a draft, and you could tell this was thoughtfully drafted.
Chuba Hubbard and Coker too. He got Coker in the last round.
Yeah, even that little mini stack there, little mini correlation play. How many tight ends are on this team? 3, but again, Dissly I think was my least favorite pick in this whole draft. But again, at that point, who cares?
Yeah.
Who's on the Chargers now? There's somebody different. They added something at tight end.
They signed Conklin, I think.
Oh, is that what it is? So it's Conklin, Dissly, just a lot of them. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. Why does this one show blank? Like, what is the story with that?
I think
this guy just not get a last pick.
Yeah.
I think he does have a pick there. I just think the way this is, I've seen this before where it just blanks one. I don't know why it does that.
Yeah.
He definitely has a player there, though. All right. So that's going to do it, though, for this draft. Fling, that was pretty good.
It was good.
Overall,
I liked it.
I think we did decent. I think I have to say, I think Ivan Drago did even better. We built one insane super stack and a couple of super minis. Ivan has 2 sort of medium-sized stacks in that lineup. So pretty good overall.
Yeah, it was a good draft for sure. And it's hard to do the 20-second clock, but you know, everyone else has it too. They're just not streaming.
You want to try to do another one?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's take a deep breath. Shake it off. Right. Travis. Shake it off. Okay. All right, guys, we're going back in. Another weekly winner with the expert in weekly winners, Fantasy Flame. Tattoo, getting overheated. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm just ignoring it. I've ignored all of Tattoo's comments for the entirety of this podcast. I've just made me uncomfortable. He's made
always with the uncomfortable comments. It's you know, it brings the comedy though. So I appreciate
Tattoo made me uncomfortable, and I started ignoring it. This is that time when you also like simultaneously do your DoorDash order. Figure about 25, 30 minutes. Like, do you time your drafts with your DoorDash order, or anybody else?
Yeah.
Is that just me?
Yeah.
I'm like, this will take about 20 minutes. Food will get here in about 30 minutes. Okay, let's roll. No?
Exactly. All right, I gotta take a bathroom break. I'll be right back.
Go ahead. We are filled, guys. Oh, we're waiting for 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So, guys in the chat, if you want to join us for this next draft, we're waiting. Yeah, let's get our DoorDash order in. Little Korean wings, anyone? Is that the du jour of the day here? No, just kidding. Let's see. Are we filling, guys? Come on. Get in there. I think we lucked out the first time we did this, in that it filled out that quickly. Ash Larry stuck in UK. Ash.
All right.
You can play on Drafters. There is a site there. Drafters exists in the UK.
Yeah, I could do some streams for Drafters too. I play on Drafters. I love it. It's full PPR.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, it's full PPR, and the competition is much softer than on Underdog. And
I like soft competition.
Yeah.
I do feel that as much as Underdog kind of makes the coolest group of contests, they I don't understand, guys. I would say to the other sites, and I'm not saying anybody should copy anything, but like the formats are there. Like why are DraftKings and drafters, for example, not following suit?
Yeah.
Like if you see these guys create an interesting weekly winners contest, okay, you do it too. Does this update in real time? Let's see. We'll find out.
If you need me to, I can hop into one of these too. I'd be hard to watch your draft and draft, but
well, you'll just have to draft your own, and you can talk through what you're up to. If you want to jump in there, get on in there. But we will not be coordinating. We will be competing. It'll make it harder for me to think it through. Soups, you in here?
I'll give it 60 seconds, and if nothing, I'll hop in.
Yeah. But what I was saying before, so yeah, what is the holdup? Why would DraftKings not look at Underdog and say, oh, they created 3 different formats, and people seem to like that. Let me do that too. You know what? You know what else they don't have? I used to enjoy on some of the other apps. I think it was Draft, the original Draft, where you were just in a league against regular people. Do you know what I mean? Like a 12-man best ball league.
Yeah.
They stopped doing them. I don't know if they're available anywhere. I'm like, all right, I like that format. I thought it was, to me, that was, it's not the same thing as trying to win a big tournament.
Yeah. No, Underdog has those.
Oh, Underdog still does have that?
Okay. Yeah, if you just scroll down from the main lobby, they have 2-person, they have 10, they have 12. So it's brilliant because it's, it's like we talk about in DFS, like contest selection is key. You want to play the 100-man. You want to play, small field as you can if the idea is to be profitable. So
that was my primary thing when Best Ball first came out. I was much more interested in those seasonal. There's 2 spots left, guys, so try to fill them up. But when Underdog first came out, or when Best Ball as a thing first came out, I was like, let me first win my money just playing the seasonal, and that's how I crafted my strategy. It was super balanced. Not worried. I don't worry about correlation at all. I don't like having to think too much about correlation. It requires a lot of forward planning when you're watching the draft, and it's double hard if I'm trying to podcast simultaneously while doing it. It's like you're trying to talk through what's going on and what your thought processes are, but not give away too much because you got guys in the draft that are literally listening and just taking the names and snaking them sometimes. But it's also just podcasting in general. It's, you have to think about what you're saying a little bit. And so it's not as easy to strategize heavy correlations. Not the way Ivan did it. Ivan really planned that. You can see it. There we go. One more spot, guys. Yeah. You did some Army League? Was it on Underdog? Is that what I would do it on Underdog. If you guys want to do that, I'm happy to do some leagues also. Like I really like playing in leagues. Again, my strategy is different. I like to handcuff the running backs heavily. Make sure that my most important thing in a league is making sure that I'm getting points from every position every single week. Just if you're not taking zeros, you're already ahead of the game. Hang on. Kat is asking for an exit. So give me a sec.
All right, we've filled. Perfect.
Oh, there we go. When the Cato wants out of the room, she will torture my soul constantly for as long as it takes till the door is open.
Yeah.
Ivan picking for 1 overall and Soups and Ivan sandwiched together 1 and 2. Okay. Who else is in here? Who knows? Anybody else in the chat in this draft? Oh, Tattoo got in there. Look at you. Okay. Nice. So Tattoo is in the sandwich between us, and all right, so that should be fun.
Gonna take turns sniping each other.
Pretty much gonna do a lot of sniping. Gonna hear a lot of like, oh man. Got an Army sandwich on the ends here. And who knows? We might have one in the middle that we don't even know about. Hey, we're competing in a sense, But in another sense, we're not really competing because it's all about 1 week here. More than one team can win. Yeah. So we're picking from the 11 spot again. What did we pick from last time? It was like 10?
10. Yeah. It's pretty close.
Yeah. So we're going to have a similar suite of choices. Ivan starts off with Chalk Barkley. Oh, there it is. Get in there on Drafters. Maybe Flynn, get a Drafter show going.
Definitely.
Actually, we should get a deal with them in place first. They have called us a few times for.
Yeah.
I feel like they've called me for, affiliate deal. Get something going first.
Yeah.
We're going to promote that brand. We got to get paid. By the way, use promo code ChiefSD or DFS Army if you're signing up. I can't imagine that somebody's watching this that doesn't have a Underdog account already.
You never know.
Yeah, if you don't, code DFS Army gets you a $100 deposit match. I need to get a deposit match going. I'm out of cash on this one. No, don't worry about it. Just get in there, Ash. We don't have a deal with them.
I have a code with them.
Do you? Yeah, share your code. What do you got? Fling?
Yeah, it's just Fantasy Fling.
Promo code Fantasy Fling with Drafters, guys.
Yeah. But what's good about
what do you get with the code? You can't just say the code. You got to get something with the code, like a $100 deposit match.
Oh, it's a 100% deposit match up to like $250, I think.
Oh, all right. Yeah, there we go. Deposit bonus, Fantasy Fling.
There you go.
He did go high. All right, we're up next. Running backs, HN. So running back, a little run early on the running back group. We got Puka, Amon-Ra, Nico Collins, Brian Thomas. Puka,
yeah.
Brian Thomas. You know what? Let's build a Trevor Lawrence build. You ready? Oh, there we go.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
We committed, Fling. This is a Trevor Lawrence build.
I'm down. And Tattoo, don't be a jerk. Okay?
Yeah, Tattoo, if you take Trevor Lawrence, we're going to have words. You know what? For my second pick, I'm going with another high upside. Oh, Brock Bowers is sitting there. It's so tempting. No, Nico Collins, touchdown scorer. Secondary build around
I like it.
CJ Stroud.
Like that a lot.
Yeah. What I love about Thomas and Nico Collins, let's say relative to not Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra's so good, but I love Puka. I love these guys. They're all great. Why'd you take him here? Collins just a touchdown scorer, right? Same thing with Brian Thomas last season. He was a big touchdown scorer. And I think that'll benefit us in this format where I think Puka was more PPR and Amon-Ra is he's just the GOAT. I mean, he's just on a team that scores 40 points a game. We need the 140-point game from Miami. Like the Lions are going to do that 5 times this year, maybe more. How many times? Give me an over-under on the Lions 40-plus point games.
It's got to be 4, 5.
Yeah, it's going to happen a lot. Yeah, it's like 4 or 5
4.5,
times.
something like that.
Yeah. I don't know if that's even a thing you can bet on.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Derrick Henry, wildly early. That is crazy. Sky cap. Oh, it's ballsy. Had a little run at running back here, a little aggressive run. Bucky Irving jumps ADP as well.
That's way early for Bucky.
That's a little soon for Bucky. I don't, it's fine, but it's a little soon. I think Jonathan Taylor probably still floating around there. Barkley, Bijan, Henry again. Henry had a Jameer and Ashton. You know what? I'll allow it. I'm fine with it. Henry's got that big upside. There's another guy. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor gets you a 40-pointer every once in a while also.
Yeah.
Like they both have that. Again, A.J. Brown once again goes in the top middle of round 2. That is unique to Underdog. DraftKings, he'll last until round 3. Maybe it's because he's not as PPR as he is like a touchdown guy.
I think that's it.
I don't like it though.
No.
Not a fan of that pick. So we started with Brian Thomas and Nico Collins, which puts us on track for like a Jacksonville, Houston sort of build, right? So let's think of other names on those teams that might be targets beyond both quarterbacks, right? Houston, Christian Kirk later.
Yeah. Higgins, that's the rookie, right?
The rookie Higgins. Yeah, definitely. Right.
Yeah.
We have, of course, with Jacksonville, you have, the rookie Travis Hunter. Great.
Mhm.
We got I think Gabriel Davis. They have some Jahan Dotson or somebody like that as a
Yeah.
WR3.
Yeah.
Why am I blanking on the Jacksonville tight end right now? Just Jatavian,
Strange.
Brenton Strange. So
Yeah.
very doable. We could build around that team pretty comfortably.
Absolutely. And then
That
it's an
being
ambiguous
said,
backfield too. So
yeah. Well, what that sets us up for is the ability to not have to take an early quarterback, because we're going to be focused on these two quarterbacks, which go much later, which is fine because we are super light at running back right now, and we're probably going to need to come away with a couple at least two in the next 3 picks.
Yeah. What do we got here?
There goes T. Higgins late. See, I take T. Higgins over A.J. Brown, so, call me crazy. We're coming up, so let's take a look at the players available. We got to look at the running back position.
Chase Brown.
Yeah. All right. You're going to leave me Chase? No, they're going to take him. We're going to have to consider. Nope.
Oof.
Chase. Thank you.
What a start.
Thank you very much. I'll take it. I think we need another. My hips are killing me. I think we need another running back. I got to get a standing desk thing. I've been sitting too much. Yeah. I got to it's my next buy.
Yeah. My wife had one. It's because she works from home, all day. So it's a good thing to have.
What do you think here? Omarion, Harvey, or should we go Adams? Doing it. It's risky. I love Adams so much this year. I'm feeling it flying. I think he's going to win us weeks.
Okay.
I think it's like a 29-point guy. I think he's he got you a 29-pointer, but I just did something very stupid because now we need running backs every pick for the next 10.
It's all right. We could double up on some of the rookies. It should be there.
Yeah, let's see what lasts to this next round. I think it's fine. There's still a lot of good running backs available. I love the start. So Brian Thomas Jr., Nico Collins, Devontae. You know what all three of those guys have in common? Aside from very cheap, stackable quarterbacks? They're touchdown scorers.
Yeah.
Putting tutties on the board.
The thing is, too, that we haven't talked about is Puka plays football in such a way that he always is going to get hurt and miss a few games. And you're going to see spike weeks and targets for Devontae Adams those weeks.
Yeah, I would agree. What's his name? Breece Hall just goes off the board. I have a hard time believing. Oh, Evan Ingram off the board already. Tight end's going.
That's early.
Oh, that is a very early pick on Evan Ingram. Somebody's targeting Bo Nix. Is that Ivan? No. Ivan's always very thoughtful with his draft. We got to pay attention to Ivan. He's very thoughtful. He will see. We can predict what he's going to do because he's being very thoughtful about how he's doing these drafts. Soup, you got a lot to live up to here, being sandwiched in between, sandwiching Drago there. Drago double taps the Carolina players. There you go. He's going to be thoughtful. Told you that. You knew this. We knew it was coming. Soup with Hunter. He said, hey, I'm not going to leave you the full Jacksonville stack. Not going to happen. All right. We tried. Again, Thomas, Collins, Adams. So we're looking at names aside from running backs, but Nico, Houston. We can get the other wide receivers from Houston there. We can get, at this point, Jacksonville, not that much, right? Brenton Strange, that's about it.
Yeah.
This draft is flying. Omarion, Kenny Walker, running back starting to go. Again, we only have one running back in our first 5 picks. That's dangerous. Harvey goes. Oh, boy. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, where do you want to go here? We've got James Conner, Trey Henderson. You know what? You think James Conner and back it up with Benson later? You go Travion Henderson?
The thing about James Conner is you don't need him so much in this format as you do traditional best ball. Because if he misses some games, that's fine as long as he has his big weeks.
We got to do it. We don't need him backed up, is what you mean. But we saw before, we can get Benson super late anyway, so no big deal. It's going to come right back around to us. I kind of think we need another
running back.
I think we need another running back here, and not in love with the choices. Judkins, the rookie. You got Aaron Jones, who can pop off on occasion. What do you think? Quick choice.
Monty is who I'd take, but go ahead.
It's too late. I already opened. By the way, that's another thing. You got to open up the thing. It take like the timer is so fast. Once I open this up, I can't get it out of the way to find another player.
Right. No, Judkins is good. He was like a highly rated back. The landing spot wasn't the greatest because they're not expected to be a good team, but maybe they'll surprise us.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. The problem is the team stinks.
Yeah.
There's no getting around that. The team stinks. 3 wide receivers, 3 running backs through the first 6 rounds. Our quarterback group is still, there's still good quarterbacks on the board. Notice how this went differently than the last one where like some of these quarterbacks were snagged a lot earlier. So they're lasting a smidge longer. Tight end group. Let's see here. We got Samwise Laporta. We got Travis Kelce. A couple of good ones still floating around. I wouldn't mind having an elite one if it were to happen.
And Njoku would correlate if you did take him. But yeah, there's some good ones there. Hawkinson, Kelce.
We'll just take a good one if anybody good is left. Running back starting to thin out, but still decent, still playable, still decent.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones is a nice running back. DeAndre Swift, again, we took him last time. I'll keep taking Swift until it's weird. I started off the season hating on Swift, but then I really thought about it. They upgraded their offensive line. The whole offense should be better, and they just haven't replaced him.
No. You're basically waiting for them to sign like a J.K. Dobbins or a Nick Chubb, and if they don't, like, just amazing value. So it's taking a massive gamble to assume that they're going to sign someone that's going to replace him at this point.
Yeah, we don't have any knowledge. Like they're going to sign Nick Chubb, will they? I mean, why would they do that? I don't know they're going to sign Nick Chubb. Like what?
Right.
So. See here, looking at Darnell Mooney. So we still have plenty of good players left at all position groups. Run on quarterback has not happened yet. Still actually really strong, like standalone QBs floating around. There goes Swift. Cojones Grande. He's got the big balls. Cojones Grande. I like the name. Like that guy I want to be friends with. I want to be friends with Cojones Grande. Whoever came up with that name for his Underdog account.
Yeah.
I feel like it's somebody I would get along with.
Yeah.
It's the rare, see the name, and like I'd probably get along with that guy.
All right.
It's not a scientific process for that, Fling. I just,
No, for sure. It's just vibes.
Yeah, I'm feeling those vibes. Definitely. Guys, if you don't know, Fantasy Fling is here on the DFS Army YouTube channel all throughout the NFL season, breaking down cash game lineups, looking at the Millie Maker, analyzing the Millie Maker lineup. We're going to take Kelce here.
Nice.
But with us all through the season.
Yeah.
Breaking it down. And
definitely.
You had some ideas for doing a few more of these live best balls, even doing a couple solo best ball streams.
Definitely. I'm in. I'm working from home now, so I'm in.
That's what you want. Work from home.
Exactly.
All right. So we are back on the clock momentarily. I didn't have a lot of time to think about correlation. So
another running back. You could take Pacheco. He'll correlate with Kelce if you need another running back.
Do we? Yeah, we can use another guy. All right. I don't have any exposure to Pacheco. That's my first Pacheco exposure of the season. We are too soft at wide receiver, though.
Yeah.
And we need our quarterbacks. So that's what we're going to be focused on for the next few rounds. I think we'll be able to get them because we had some names that we wanted to look for down the list here. Was it Higgins, right?
Higgins, yeah.
Who was the other ones? I can't remember. We have Houston, right? So we want to try to get Higgins.
Yeah.
We couldn't back up him. Got nothing here. So really, it's just Higgins.
Noel is a guy you can get really late, but yeah, I think Higgins is a better pick.
That's maybe like the last pick in the whole thing. Christian Kirk, actually. I'll you know what? I'll include Kirk if he's still here. Yeah, let's put him on our watch list as well.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful with the queue though. On this site, if you don't put like, it will just grab whoever you have in your queue. So that's dangerous. Let's see. Tight end group. You guys are playing with fire. Oh no. All right. The tight end, they did take him. Darnell Mooney, Matthew Golden, upside guy. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
The QBs we're looking at.
Stroud.
Way down the list. Stroud and Lawrence. Way down the list. So we're going to wait a little bit for those. We're going to continue to try to beef up the rest of this here. All right. So let's just talk through the wide receivers that are remaining, right? K-Shack probably be gone. I like Josh Downs a little bit. Touchdown scorer. Igbuga, Mims Jr., we like him. Rashid Shaheed's been great in the past, but who the hell's the quarterback for the Saints? You know, Higgins, we've got him highlighted for later. Kirk highlighted for later. What do you think?
You know, I'm trying to leave almost every draft with one of Ikabuga, however you pronounce his name, or Burden. Like, I just love those guys. But obviously, I get Higgins with the correlation here.
I think we can do them both.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll have trouble nailing both those guys. The other thing is, even with Kelsey at tight end, he's not a reliable tight end by any stretch. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to back that up with a little something here in the near future. But I think we're too soft at wide receiver, and so we can go there. This is an interesting build because we're waiting so long at quarterback that I think will give us some other positional advantages. I'm going Downs here over Pittman. I like Downs much more than Pittman. Igbuga's right there too, but you know what? Downs has been getting it done with touchdowns.
Yeah.
And we have these other guys still floating around.
Right.
Like, what pick number? We're at 10. You got to look at the ADPs a little bit.
Right.
So we should be able to wait till 118. 110. I don't think we can get Higgins on the way back. It's now or never. All right, we're going to do it. Yeah, let's go Higgins here just to complete our hopeful correlation.
And the point with that too is that both, when Stroud had his big year, his rookie year, he had Tank Dell and Nico Collins. So I think it both.
He needs two guys scoring. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll try to get Christian Kirk in there too.
Yeah.
He needs two guys. He definitely does. Like, last year was just one, he wasn't getting it done.
No.
That being said, it doesn't have to necessarily definitely be a Stroud lineup. We can, Lawrence has some upside this year. I wish we got Hunter and Brian Thomas. That would get crazy with T-Law.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. You could definitely do it in some drafts if you make it a priority and you're picking near the right spot for it.
Yeah, it could have been done. We could have done it. But again, I chose Devontae because I just love him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at some point, we also just need a big week in general from everybody. And I think Devontae is going to win people their leagues this year. If he's healthy, he's going to win you leagues. I don't see how that doesn't happen. Oh, is there a turd in this draft? We'll see what's going on with that.
Oh my gosh. Where's that at?
Which guy is it? Oh my God. Oh, Mitchell Evans. Oh, this is just a fake. What the hell? Jackson Dart, Jameis Winston, Mitch Trubisky.
Oh my gosh. What a waste.
You think, do they toss the draft when that happens?
I've seen him do it before, but it really depends.
Damn.
That would suck.
Igbuka's still here a whole round later.
Yeah. And that would be why they would toss it, because of if someone makes a bad pick. Like, I've accidentally autoed a guy that I had like queued up, like, 6 rounds later. And I'm like, oh, well, I just wasted that draft. But, they don't toss it for that. But if it's like repeated, then normally they do.
That guy clearly is doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that person, either they're not here. Is it this guy, Yabio? He take another quarterback just there? I mean, come on.
Did you see the all right, you got to draft a quarterback real quick, or whoever. Yeah.
We need emergency CJ Stroud. Like, there's no doubt that is a must.
Yeah. Did you see all the drama with Gilbert Arenas? Did you know that he works for Underdog and he's been in drafts taking like 5 quarterbacks? Did you see that on Twitter?
No. What?
It's so funny. Yeah. Apparently, it's this whole thing. Gilbert Arenas, he's like a partner with Underdog, and he's been in drafts, like starting the draft with like 4 quarterbacks in a row. People were all pissed about it. It was good comedy just scrolling through the
why
comments.
and what is his excuse?
I don't know. I didn't get a response. I didn't see a response anyway.
How bizarre.
Yeah.
Oh, Pitts. Still some good tight ends left. So, again, we've got now I double tapped quarterback. Maybe too soon. Maybe a little too soon, but right where their ADP is. And I don't think they were going to be there for us on the way back. So I had to do it, basically.
Especially with this guy drafting all quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, he's not taking good quarterback. He's just taking backups, so it's not even that big of a deal. He took Winston, Dart. There's no excusing what's going on here.
Yeah.
Cojones Grande is like, bro, you're fucking up the draft.
No joke.
Yeah, T-Law. I don't even know what to make of the fact that this guy, no one else, I mean, everybody else's draft is looking pretty good. Drago and Soups.
He started fine. Lamb, McLaurin, Hill, Ingram, Jonnu, and then Mitchell Evans. What happened? Did he mean to draft Mike Evans and then he just bombed the whole thing?
It could be. Like almost like a purposeful bomb after he misclicked on that one.
Yeah.
We have a few rounds left. There goes Christian Kirk. Was hoping that by some miracle he would just sneak his way back to us, but I think that was asking too much. Big balls. The run on tight end happened in the last round, so we're going to be kind of stuck with a lesser group here. I don't like this. Taking backup running backs. I feel like it's too soon. Hopkins, meh. If you had Lamar, I might be interested. Let's see what's going on here on the board. We've got Stroud and Trevor Lawrence, 2 sketchy quarterbacks, but nicely correlated with the rest of our team here.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Thomas Jr., standalone guy. We'll see if we can get some correlative combos there. We got Collins, Higgins, alongside their quarterback. We got Josh Downs.
How late can you get Daniel Jones?
You can get him right at the very
You're on the
end.
clock, by the way.
Yeah, hang on. Stafford is no good. I want to look at tight ends here. Yep. Zach Ertz. Just take a solid tight end there. Yeah. We'll get Brenton Strange maybe in another round from now. We're at pick number 150. Actually, we might have to take him now. I kind of wanted to get that one more piece to go with T-Law. It's probably Brenton Strange. Jalen McMillan, not a whole lot going on here. Although Quentin Johnston is a pretty good best ball guy as well at this point. But I'm going to do it. I'm just going to complete the correlation here, even though I don't love Brenton Strange all that much. I think you got to take the correlation where it is. So going forward on our team, I feel we could still use some help at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Still a few left. We've got 4 running backs, so we can use another 1 or 2, and definitely a couple more wide receivers. So we need a little bit of everything.
Definitely. Yeah, the only reason I mentioned Daniel Jones is because I do expect Daniel Jones to be the guy.
At least for some point in the season. Yeah, he should take over for Richardson. I've been taking him. I have a ton of him in my last pick of best ball.
Nice.
Let's see. Cajones Grande. So we're going back around here. Where's that weirdo and his stupid team? Now he's back to drafting normal players. Maybe it was just a mental breakdown.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He also took the tight ends way earlier than they normally go. Actually, I don't know. No, they were in order. He's just back to drafting normal players. Okay. Maybe they won't throw this out.
Maybe he let his kid make a few of his picks.
What's that?
Maybe he let his kid make a few of his picks. Who knows?
Yeah. It's like, no, I really wanted that. All right. I had a DraftKings one where basically they said, we're not negating the draft, but you can't win it because it just auto drafted on the first stream I did. I hadn't adjusted rankings yet. And I clicked the button on the $20. It was taking too slow to fill. So I was like, let me try the $3 one. That filled real fast. And then the $20 one auto drafted and the team looked pretty good. I was like, oh, I'm good with this team. I'm fine with it. Nope.
Yeah.
They said, you can't win with this team. So apparently DraftKings has a rule that if you auto draft with no adjustments, you will not be allowed to win a prize.
That's kind of crazy to me because first of all, you're not going to have a correlated team unless you get lucky, right? Like you're not going to have a stack. And most people draft pretty close to ADP anyway, so I don't really think it's giving you like some big edge.
I thought it was a jerky move.
Yeah.
To do that. I think that, but I mean, it was done on purpose. It was like not specifically to me. That's just what their rule is. But I just thought it was like, wow, that's how you do it here. Okay, that's a little strange, but whatever. All right, we need running back. We could use another quarterback. Tight end is good, or mostly good. Although actually, a 4th tight end, that is the Ray Zanny special. 4 tight ends.
It won 3 times in 2024. 4 tight ends.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Jalen Wright here. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Running backs this season. If Achane gets hurt, Jalen Wright leads the team. We didn't take Tua here.
Right.
Yeah. Did you get, when that happened to you, Ivan, did that negate your draft? Like, did auto draft? And they were like, yep, you didn't adjust it. Now I've uploaded my rankings. But before that, I hadn't done that on DraftKings. So it's just like, no. Tattoo grabs Pat Bryant, the Army special. Oh, shit, I'm back on the clock. Fuck. Gino. Get that 3rd QB in there.
There you go.
Panic. I actually think we might be able to find correlation with Gino here. No. Who's the...
if you took a 4 tight end, you could take a Royale if you took a 4 tight end. Some people are really high on him.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Where was he drafted?
Let's see. I think he went pretty late in the draft, but it's more of a just like they love his skill set, and then there's an opportunity because it's really JSN and then Cup who can't stay healthy. So there's, as a late round flyer, a guy that could hit.
Worth a shot.
Yeah.
Worth a shot. What about Jalen Noel? No one's going to have him. Should we add that into our correlation if he's there? We got that Houston stack going. Might as well.
For sure.
I was hoping to get Kirk. We didn't get him. Let's see what else. What round are we in? Oh, we got 2 more picks left in total. Will Shipley, somebody we got it in the last one. Tight end group. Dalton Schultz can add to our Houston.
Correlate.
Yeah, I don't mind that. If he's there, I think that might be the way to go. Schultz not very special, in general, but like one game is all we're looking for.
Or what about MVS? We took him in the last draft. He's on Seattle. Is he on there?
Oh yeah.
Has he been taken yet? 211.
Oh, we're on the clock. Yeah, you know what? Wait a minute. I had a different idea at first. Yeah, Schultz is who I wanted. Nope. All right, YOLO it. MVS. All right, let's prep for this next one because I was looking for him. So we got MVS. So we did get a little Geno correlation going there. Blake Corum, running back. Blake Corum, okay. Let's see here. Wide receivers, Jacksonville. Diami? Yeah. Right? Yeah. Let's go for it. One more piece with Lawrence. So we built some heavy stack action. I'm down with it. Stover takes over for Schultz this season anyway. See, I've been shitting all over whoever took Schultz from me.
I like Stover was a guy that I was drafting a lot of last year. Didn't work out. I think I had a little brain fart about Geno. I forgot he's in Las Vegas for some reason. My brain said Seattle.
Oh, that's right. Did we take a Seattle guy? Oh, yeah. I didn't listen. I had 20 seconds. Typing fast.
Yeah. But it's fine because MVS he's that guy that's going to pop a few times a year anyway, for the deep touchdown. So
yeah, he's fine. He's a perfectly good piece for this format. I don't have any problem with it. Although I would have rather had correlation, but we didn't. All right. Here we go. Soups and Drago, last pick. But let's go through some of these drafts. We'll see the weirdo draft as well. Start with Drago here. So Drago on the clock right now. He starts off with Saquon, of course, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison. Nice little triple tap. Marvin Harrison, this is a jump of ADP to purposefully get the correlation. So again, Ivan Drago, very purposeful.
Yeah.
You can see it here, right? You're taking Harrison, way ahead of ADP just to make sure McBride. So I'm going to assume that he winds up with Kyler Murray. We'll see. Chuba Hubbard, another just good all-around running back, but doubles it down with Ted McMillan to get that mini stack. The Riddler.
There it is.
Aaron Jones, just, open play. And there's Kyler Murray. Is that a jump of ADP? No. It was a jump of ADP a little bit, but so what? Takes Kyler Murray a little early. Make sure you get the correlation there. Minnesota. So he took Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason, really just locking down that Minnesota backfield. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I don't love it, but I don't mind it. In this format, I'm not sure that that's all that helpful. Jack Charbonnet, who had some amazing weeks last season when starter got hurt. Bateman, touchdown scorer. Thielen, mid, but this was a purposeful grab of Thielen with Bryce Young. Is there any other correlation with that team? Not really. Cam Ward along with the Riddler. I'm sure there's more. Chig Okonkwo and Ridley with Cam Ward. So
a lot of correlation.
Yeah, a lot of correlation there. Good potential for spike weeks. Soups come in for this draft. Here starts with Jamar Chase, Ladd McConkey, and Josh Jacobs, Xavier Worthy. Very heavy wide receivers. We'll call this hero running back with Jacobs and no one else until we get to Caleb Johnson. And again, receiver. Where the running back? Dude, bro. Soups, they should cancel this this draft because of Soups. Soups, what are you doing? I can't even look at the rest of this. What happened?
You got Dowdle, Dobbins, and Caleb.
I mean, Jacobs, Caleb, and then that's it. Where's the rest of them? Jake, he's not even on a team. Yeah, Soups, not your best work. I don't even know. There's no way this team can win a week. How does it get there?
If Chuba Hubbard gets
JK
hurt.
JK needs to get on a team. You need a little luck here. If this will need a little bit of luck. But incredible wide receivers everywhere you look. Just great wide receivers. Let's see if there's any correlation. Herbert, McCarthy, Herbert,
McConkey.
Yeah, so Herbert with McConkey. I thought I saw another player on that team too, like a Trey Harris. Yeah, so the Herbert nicely correlated. It's really soft at tight end and running back. I think it's too soft there. I think it's too much. My boy, or the lunatic in the draft started taking garbage in the middle of the draft. Mitchell Evans, Jackson Dart, Jameis Winston will win your league, though, in fairness. Actually, maybe this was thoughtful. Dart and Winston, could this have been thoughtful?
It could have, yeah. Jameis starts the season. They have a murderer's row to start the season, so they lose those games, and then Jackson Dart comes in.
No, because if it was thoughtful, he would have had
neighbors.
Yeah, neighbors on it.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to look the rest of this crap because this guy, I don't think they're going to cancel the draft, though, because of that. So I think we'll still get a draft going. Tattoo sandwiched with a Chief sandwich around Tattoo here. Let's see what he did. Puka and Amon-Ra at the start. Double running back, Cook and Mixon. Chris Godwin. I'm a big fan of Chris Godwin this season. Lots of running backs as well with Travion Henderson. So good trio of running backs to start. And Pollard there. Pollard could have a resurgence with a good quarterback. Who knows? Bo Nix, not really correlated to any of these guys. So let's see if he gets Mims. Yeah, he got Mims Jr. late. Drake May, again, tough to correlate him with anybody. Who the hell is even catching passes on the Patriots? I don't know. You don't know. No one knows. Demario Douglas, you get him going in there. Some backup running backs. So pretty good. I like Hunter Henry, Tyler Warren. Just 2 tight ends here. Might have taken a 3rd tight end if I had this build. And then, of course, our combo team, Fling.
Yeah.
BTJ, Nico Collins, Chase Brown, Devontae. I love this start. I love all 4 of these guys. All touchdown scored. Listen, it could go wrong in a hurry. The only negative is we started a little slow with running backs because we went so heavy wide receiver. Make up for it here with Connor and Judkins. I think this is a soft running back group with Chase Brown, Connor, and Judkins. So it's a soft group. Nothing we're going to do about it.
You'll need Chase Brown to carry you, and he can. And
we need these other guys to kind of fill in a week.
Yeah.
James Conner can get it done. Judkins, good opportunity, but terrible team. Not in love with that. We go with Mr. Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce here, he's going to stink for most of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Downs, upside touchdown scorer. Jaden Higgins, just coordinating with our CJ Stroud pick. So we got Stroud, Higgins, and Brian Thomas Jr. I think I got another player from that team in there later on. No. Then we got, and then we got Lawrence with Brenton Strange and Brian Thomas Jr. Sorry, I fucked that up. Lawrence with Brian Thomas Jr. and Brenton Strange. We got CJ Stroud with Nico Collins and Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to get the 3rd guys. We couldn't get them. I like Josh Downs, like I said, as a touchdown scorer. Ertz, Strange, just, solid, especially Ertz, just a solid tight end last year. Had a bunch of 20-point games. People didn't remember it. Jalen Wright, one of my favorite backup running backs on the season, and some high upside touchdown scores. Diami Brown,
you got Diami.
We got Diami. We got MVS here. So I think these are pretty good. I'm excited. I think we're going to, by the way, you don't have to win the whole thing. I could also just win my money back by finishing in the money a couple times. It's not like you have to finish in first. Then we got some.
Yeah, if you
some
finish top 10. You can max it and finish top 10 and you'd still win your money back in this contest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just once, right?
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not maxing this one. This contest type is crazy. And it takes so long. I can't max anything. 150 of these? Dude, I'm just trying to get through these. I'm doing 2 a day. It's 2 hours. It's a lot of time.
Yeah.
I got to get some.
I think I'm going to try to do 50 of these, but
Yeah.
That's it.
I'll get some slow drafts going as the summer wears on, and those are a lot easier to manage. You can get like 30, 40 slows going simultaneous. The problem with the slow draft for me, Fling, is I find myself lazying out when I'm on the clock about remembering to go actually look at the team and like think through what my positional needs are and like what my stacks are. It's like slow draft. You're on the clock. You got 9 picks. Like you go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, there's 9 picks that you just have to make. You're like, oh shit. And one of them's like 5 minutes left and you're going to auto pick. It gets dangerous.
I hear you. I think with the slow drafts, like last year I had too many. Like by like August, I'd have like 40 picks to make sometimes, because I'd be doing that many. I think less is more so that you can actually focus on what's going on in the draft.
Yeah. Or do what I didn't do last year, but what I am doing this year, because I have uploadable rankings.
Right.
Upload your rankings. Like,
right.
Don't let it auto pick away. Just upload your rankings, and that should clean up some of the. Like last year, it'd be like somebody get hurt, but they were still floating around, and I'd always get that guy in the auto pick because they were just hanging around. I can't remember who it was, but last season there was definitely like those names that were just hanging around for a while.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
But yeah, they're
Fling,
fun.
this is awesome. Underdog weekly winners format. Pretty much not super different, really. I think it's not super different from how a draft for the playoff format, the 1 week playoff, because it's kind of the same thing in a lot of ways. Maybe even a little more aggressive on the correlation here, but it's pretty much the same. So heavy correlation here. We definitely saw people like jump ADP 5-10 picks to get that correlation, even a full round. So that's about I think as aggressive as you probably need to be. And we'll see what happens. I think I'll do a few more of these before I'm done. I like it's a cool concept, but like I said, there's a few cool concepts here on Underdog in terms of these contest types that they have that are all fun. And so you kind of have to just like weigh them out, like the marathon where you don't have to worry about correlation. Eliminator is really cool. I think Eliminator is my favorite of these. Yeah. The Eliminator is the one I really want to draft a lot of teams for. Just top 50% every single week. Last. That's my style.
I want to jump into that too. I didn't do that at all last year. I'd like to do some of those. Sounds fun.
Polar opposite of what we just did.
Yeah.
Polar opposite.
Yeah, it's like a cash lineup, right?
Yeah, exactly. I just want to get past the week. You have to pay attention to your bye weeks. You don't want to get over one overstacked bye week and you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful. So you really need to pay attention to a few different things in that one, but primarily just build a well-rounded team and don't worry about correlation. Just make sure you have running backs that are healthy and backed up.
Yeah, and you probably want teams that actually have very late bye weeks. Like if you could target some of those teams, that gives you a bit of an edge.
If you just last past week 3, you're already in the money in this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really, this is the one for me and my just, oh, look at that. Puppy but super flex. See these guys, and they just added another one.
Yeah, they just did that today.
Yeah, puppy but super flex. I like those a super flex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, Underdog continues to innovate. The other sites, all they need to do is open up Underdog and copy, but they don't.
It's like watching Blockbuster in real time.
Yeah, like Blockbuster. Netflix reached out. Do you know the story? Netflix reached out to Blockbuster and they're like, hey, buy us for $2 million. We have this concept for, mailing movies and streaming. And Blockbuster was like, fuck you. I'm not paying them. I'm not paying for that. We'll do it ourselves.
They didn't do it themselves.
Good job, Blockbuster. They said, no. Now, where are you? And where's Netflix? By the time Blockbuster started mailing out videos, it was already too late.
Right. Yeah, they're way late to the party. And all Netflix wanted was a buyout. That's crazy.
It was like one of our guys, Sizlowski, one of my friends and a co-host of mine. His dad worked at Blockbuster at the time of this. Yeah.
Wow.
And so he actually firsthand shares the story of the executive group like offering. And then eventually they offered them like, the second time they came back was like, give us $1 billion. And they were like, we'll give you $400 million. And they're like, nope. And they had a second chance to buy it when it was already rocking. I miss what I miss is not necessarily Blockbuster. I do miss Blockbuster, but what I miss is the fun of movie night.
Yeah.
When you rented a movie. Young people today will not know. You don't know the joy. What you call Netflix and chill, we used to call it Blockbuster night.
Yeah. Yeah, my grandma would take us to Blockbuster and we'd get a movie and then we'd get a video game for the Nintendo 64, and we get snacks. It was a whole experience.
Yeah. The blue, it was so pleasant in Blockbuster. Just got happy.
Yeah.
It was just a happy place. Anyway, I don't know how we got to Blockbuster. Let's wrap it up. 2-hour breakdown. Always fun. It wasn't even the experience of going to the store, by the way. It was now you had a movie. And so now everybody got together and sat on the couch and like we're putting in the DVD, guys. We're watching a movie tonight. Like we got a movie. Now you're just like, movie night.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon Prime. It's there tomorrow. It's there today. Who cares?
Right.
It's not the same experience. But guys, hit that like button, subscribe, notification bell, whatever it is that people do with whatever social media format you are watching this stream on. I had Fling with me. Fling's going to be back doing some solo streams, I think. Little drafters. Definitely. You'll hit some other stuff here. We got room. We got room here, Fling. What are you doing? Get in there. And we will be back 3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Draft-a-palooza. We're just drafting best ball teams. Real time. Together. At this point, it's me, Soups, Ivan, and most of the drafts. Few other friends of DFS Army getting in there. Tattoo.
I'll do some. I'll hop in with you and with you guys.
Yeah, you're home during the week. What the hell are you doing? Get in my stream.
Yeah.
And by the way, everybody's always welcome. You pop in on stream with me. So keep that in mind. We're going to keep them going. Guys, take care. Thanks for hanging out in this Draft-a-palooza. We'll see you guys on Friday. Take care, everybody.
Later.